the quilt that you see behind me. That's called blended hexagons. The thing I like about blended hexagons, and that I have to say is also in Rainbow Quilts for Scrap Lovers, my second book. The thing that I really, really like about blended hexagons is that, again, when you have odd-shaped scraps, you're just going to lay that template right on those odd-shaped scraps and cut squares. Now, I don't know if you believe it, but this quilt is actually made with squares. Now, I want you to look at the variety of fabrics that are in here, and if you saw those in your scrap container or in your scrap pile, you would think that those are not going to work together. You'd look at this one, you'd look at this one, you know, you might look at this one and you'd say, how are they all going to work? Well, the reason that they work together is that I've chosen a monochromatic color theme. And sometimes you just need to give yourself permission to use a monochromatic color theme. You don't have to use every color under the sun in your quilt. People get really panicked and nervous about matching colors and making colors work together, and sometimes it's just beautiful to have a monochromatic color scheme. So, how on earth did we get squares to create shapes like this? Well, I'm going to show you. So you're going to start cutting again. You're going to start cutting 3 scraps that are you're going to cut from your scraps, you're going to cut 3 5.5-inch squares. And then you're going to cut 3 more 5.5-inch squares. And you're going to pair them like this. See that? They're paired together. Right? And then you're going to keep them oriented in the same direction. So what that means is that you want the square to stay the same on the top of the pile all the way through. Then you're going to create a mark. You're going to mark in from the top right, and you're going to mark in from the bottom left, and then that's a secret measurement that I'm not going to disclose because I want you to buy the book. But you're going to mark in a measurement here, and you're going to mark in a measurement here, and the measurement that you mark is the same on every single one. And then you're going to take your ruler and you're going to connect those marks. Now you can see that I've made my marks on these, and you're going to connect with your ruler, you're going to connect those marks. And then you're going to cut with your rotary cutter along the edge of that ruler. Now when you do that, the resulting shapes are going to be like this. So these are what results. You've made that cut and you're going to separate them out a little bit. They're kind of a trapezoid, I believe is what they are. They're a trapezoid. And when you have all of these trapezoids, you've got 6 pairs of trapezoids. You're going to sew along the 1/4-inch mark seam along here, 1/4-inch seam along the straight edge. These trapezoids have an angled edge and they have a straight edge. So you're going to sew a 1/4-inch along that straight edge. You're going to open it out and press that seam open. And this is what you're going to have. You're going to have something that looks like this. So you can see that I've sewn that 1/4-inch seam. I've gone over to the iron and I've pressed it open. Nice and flat. There you go. There you have it. That's the shape you get. So remember, we had 6 of these. So when you've done that 6 times, this is the shape you get. Right? It kind of looks like a pineapple. It'd be really pretty done in yellow. But you see that the shape has a hole in the middle of it, right? What I've done is I've taken boiled wool or felted wool, and you can cut a hexagon, you can cut a circle, you can also applique a circle out of a corresponding cotton, maybe red would be pretty in here, make a circle and use your favorite applique technique to applique over that circle. And that is exactly how you get that shape. Now when you put these together, you're going to put them together and there will be a slight set-in seam. But don't let that scare you because it's explained very nicely. It's explained in Rainbow Quilts for Scrap Lovers. So it's a great way for a beginner who is doing set-in seams to learn how to do a set-in seam that isn't quite so acute. The angle isn't so acute that you can't do it. So I certainly will hope that you will check out both of my books, Quilts for Scrap Lovers which has 16 projects using the 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 inch template, and Rainbow Quilts for scrap lovers, which also uses the 3.5, 4.5, and a 5.5 inch square, and nothing more, and you'll just tear through your scraps and your unused fat quarter packs. Thank you.